Whoop, whoop, whoop! What up, people? Mundo in the house. How you guys doing? Charlie, W, Titan. What up, my friends? I am so sorry. I ran a little bit behind. My truck kind of broke down a little bit, and well, not the whole entire truck, guys. I mean, it's just my AC went running hot, so I was just trying to get it fixed up, and haven't fixed it up yet. So I kind of messing with that, and I'm like, oh shit, my time kind of ran away from me. So it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. And I mean, shit, I didn't even gotten my drink all together yet. So while we're talking, I'm gonna get myself going with my drink as usual. The bartender Mundo at your service. um, so tonight, man, I was thinking about let's talk about battery life. I find it fascinating because it depends on what you're running, right? Whether you're running any kind of 18650, whether you're running a 26650, maybe a 21700 battery, it doesn't matter, right? It really doesn't matter. So everything's all good. It's just a matter of how much time, how much play time you want, and what you're willing to accomplish with that amount of time, right? So let's say, for instance, you want to go to a con, and I do not endorse drinking, but there's my the kids don't do this at home. My disclaimer, right? Oh my gosh, I gotta have myself a good one here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so back to the topic at hand, right? Mundo style. Drink it up. Fire it up. Let's fire it up. All right, guys. So tell me, Charlie, Titan, Pern, what? And Pern, thank you so much for being here. It's a first. Yes, I appreciate that so much, man. And I appreciate everybody that's going to be on here. And I tell you, I couldn't be more blessed to have everybody that stops by, watches my videos. And I'm just a simple dude making my way through the universe, right? And I tell you, I'm just wanting to have fun, talk Star Wars, talk sabers with everybody, like we're sitting at a table, man. So pull up a chair and let's get to the topic. Let's have some fun. I want to bring fun to the topics, right? I want to bring the fun, and as much the more participation we get within the conversations, the better it is. And I tell you, I have a lot of fun with you guys. And Titan, you're here all the time, man. You too, Charlie. I mean, thank you guys so much. And I'm sure since he's gonna be on here a little bit later, he's probably at work right now. And Space may show up. He may not. He's probably at karate right now with the kids. So and he gets very busy with his blades too. So you know I can't wait. I cannot wait for the. Oh, that is so good, man. I cannot wait for the May 4th sales coming up too, and we're going to talk about that as well, right? Because I invited Rich to come on, and hopefully he'll come on. And if not, it's okay. Remember, when I ask you guys, and if I send you guys a link to come on to the show with me, it's always an invitation, never a have to. Okay, and then I get it, and I understand um, that people have things to do. Maybe they go to bed early and everything like that. So always remember and never feel guilty either. If you don't come on, never feel guilty, man, because like I said, it's always an invitation, but never a have to, man. Because I want people to have fun on this channel. We want to have fun. We want to talk about Star Wars. We want to talk about sabers. And if you guys have any topics that you all would like to talk about, and make sure we all talk about positive stuff, because I don't want to do any bummer stuff and get people down and everything like that. That's not what I'm trying to accomplish here. I'm trying to accomplish an escape for everybody. Like I said, and I'm going to repeat myself a couple of times, and especially for the new people that come on in, have a seat, get a drink, and let's have some fun talking. Because that's what Mundo Madness Monday is all about. Okay, so back to the batteries. I myself have used right here. I got a 21700 battery, right? It's the Keep Power, right? Really damn good battery though, too. Takes a while for me to charge it, right? And also it depends on your charger, whether you have a fast charger or a slow charger. That takes time, right? If you have a charger like this, and the custom saber shop used to have a charger like this. It's all magnetic, dude. Um, but this is such a little badass charger, man. It's magnetic, goes on the battery, right? So negative side here, right? Negative side, positive side, and then you plug it into the USB or whatever USB power source you have. And I tell you, this little thing is badass, dude. It would be great if a watch battery could power a saber like an 18650, just a thin disc. Oh, dude, that would be epic, dude. That would be epic, man. I would I would like buy like several of those damn things. But then again, you never know. It might cost a pretty penny, right? For something being a button battery, but with so much power to power up a lightsaber, they're probably going to be expensive, more expensive than these fuckers, right? So, but these, and also this thing is got like where you can put, you can use your SD card through this way as well. So it's got a dual function in it, man. And the custom saber shop used to sell these, and they don't anymore. I don't know why they stopped selling it. Um, it's from Trustfire. So, because I haven't seen it on their website at all. But Trustfire, this thing works pretty damn good for being what it is, right? But like I said, it does take a little while for this one to charge because it charges it up very slowly. And it's got a red light when your battery needs to be charged, and the green light comes on when it's fully charged. So it's not a bad little charger, man. I think I had bought this way back when, probably, oh, I would say about 20, I want to say about 2021, 21 maybe, something like that. No, maybe 2019, somewhere in there, 2019, I think. Anyhow, anywho, uh, it was it was interesting to see that you could utilize that plugin like that, right? And I was like, I thought it was going to be a bad buy, but I didn't have the money for a regular charger, fast charger at that time. And I was thinking to myself, okay, I'll buy this one because I think I bought it for like maybe 15 bucks or so. If I'm correct about that's what it was back then. Okay. And I thought to myself, well, why not? Shit. I mean, I'll just buy it 15 bucks because at the time it was probably about 30 bucks for a fast charger, right? And I just really couldn't afford it. So I was like, I bought this one. I'm all like, okay. And I tried it out, and yeah, it was pretty slow. JT's in the house. Just jumping in quick to say hello. Hey, buddy. Hello, hello. I'm glad you showed up, man. Love it, love it, love it. Here's to you, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. So buying that charger again, like I said, and you can buy any chargers, and it depends whether you want it to charge slowly or charge fast. It all depends on you and what you have to work with within your budget. You make sure that for if you're going to buy chargers and everything, just buy buy within your means. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, save up the money a little bit at a time, right? And save up that money and get the stuff that you really want, right? And like me, I mean, shoot, I mean, there's other things that I need to take care of before I do my my hobby stuff. So bills and everything else come first, right? But going back to batteries and everything, uh, you almost have to decide whether you're going, like, if you're going to go to a con, if you're going to go to this the Star Wars stuff, any kind of assembly that you think you're going to show up in costume, you're going to go do meetups, whatever have you will. So you want to make sure that you have your battery life. And if you take one battery, you want to make sure that you have at least two or three batteries with you if you're going to do a long time event, right? So let's say you go into Star Wars Celebration. You go to Star Wars Celebration and you got hundreds of people around there. Of course, you're not going to have too much chance to charge your battery because you got hundreds of other people plugging in, right? So maybe you get a solar power, put it on your backpack, and charge up your battery that way, so that you don't have to worry about plugging in anywhere. And in these days and age, they got plugs that scammers use, and they'll put plugs wherever and try to get your information from your phone. So you got to be careful about that as well, right? Um, so yeah, it depends on where you want to go and what you're doing with the Saber, that you can retain the longest battery time, the longest play time, the longest um, immersive time, I should say, right? Now, if you're fully really into the immersion time and you have multiple batteries, then you should be okay, depending if you have the 18650s. Now, if you have two or three, 21 700s, maybe a couple of 26 650s, I think, yeah, you'd be good for about, 4.5 to 6 hours, depending on how much usage you have with the Saber, right? And it also guess it depends on your blade styles, on whether you're doing solid colors, whether you're doing the whole array of different colors, whether you're doing different blade styles, you know, all of that runs the battery out. So, depending on what you're doing, you can either extend the battery life or you can shorten the battery life and your playtime, basically. JT, what is your usual playtime around 45 minutes to an hour? Um, maybe if you've gone to a con, you've gone and you'll light up the saber, do a little duel here and there, a couple of fonts real quick, turn it off, and then walk around the con, look around and all that, and then maybe in a couple of hours turn it on again. Is that your usual playtime? Maybe about a couple of hours or so, turning it on, and so that you can extend your battery life during a con. I mean, that's something I would do, right? I mean, I wouldn't just try to kind of run the battery out as much as possible. I mean, trying to really impress so many people, because I think so many other people will try to, like, oh no, yeah, 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 no, no. but but you do have to turn it on, off and on quite a bit, because if you're running into people and you know you're comparing your blades, you're comparing your sabers and so forth. So I would say maybe, I guess the normal, I would say maybe normal time is about a couple of hours, depending on what you're doing, right? Um, I have yet to be in total immersed in a con with that amount of time for a saber. Like I said, I haven't really taken my saber to a con yet because once I do, I'm probably gonna have about 3 or 4 21 700s with me, simply because I don't want to take the time to plug in and have to. I don't want to have to go and plug in and have to sit there and wait for my Saber to charge up while everybody else is walking around. I'm charging up my phone, I'm charging up my Saber, and it's kind of like, okay, I'm missing the con here for just sitting here doing nothing. I'm seeing people walk by, but if I'm gonna go to a con, I want to make sure that I have everything all up, and takes a while to get down so that by the end of the con, I still have a little bit of juice left, right? At least that's what I would do. How about you guys? Titan, JT, let's see. Pern, what about you guys? I mean, tell me, talk to me. Huh? What is what would be your ideal time in a con with your sabers? Lit, not lit, blade styles, no blade style, solid blade, solid color. What is your MO for stuff like that? Hmm? Talk to me, guys. Come on, let's bring it. Bring it, like Yoda says. Where is Yoda? Yoda! Ah, here he is. Yoda is arrived. What is that, Yoda? Do we con or no con? What do you say? It always is. Yeah, yeah, there is no try. I shall do, Yoda. I shall do. I work up for an hour in the night with the saber and still have power left. Okay, so Titan says he works out for an hour and a half, for an hour night with saber and still have power left over. So that's good, man. So we know that over an hour, and he's working out with it. Ha, that's pretty good. Over an hour. Now, Titan, is that a solid blade color? Is that with um maybe different blade styles? Is it just one blade style? What do you have? Is it just a solid color? So Pern says I'm just starting to buy sabers, so not much experience. Dude, that is all right, my friend. That is all right. So don't worry about it. That's another part of this channel that my friend Anthony has allowed me to do. So if you've got questions, man, and if I can answer any of them on here for you while we're talking, you know, by all means, then it's a good thing and it's a good channel for you to come hang out and learn as much as you can, right? Now, I'll tell you, I'm still a Padawan learner, but I'm learning a lot, man, and I tell you, it is such a blessing. And I have been blessed to know so many people that I can direct you to if you have certain questions, and even Rich Sangillo, who's been helping me with a lot of stuff. I tell you, there's just so many people that can help you with stuff. So don't be afraid to ask questions, man. Um, Cindy, Cindy's in the house, Mister Fly, the Fly Boy, the Fly Boy, crashing bird, dude, crashing bird. No, he skims. He skims. Skim, rattle, and roll. Training while listening to this wizard. Thank you, Charlie. Man, and Charlie's pretty badass, man. He's got some good. He's got some mad skills too. Martial artist all the way, dude. I tell you, I bow to him any day. I shall bow to him any day. So, Cindy, okay, since you came in, and I'm talking to Pern, how long have you actually gone? You've gone to some cons, right? Landing aggressively. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. I really like that one. Cincy, so you've gone to a few cons with your saber, have you not? Or have you not really gone to any cons and just did your builds? What's the name? The something collector who was on here did a run test up. Oh, John from Collector's Outpost. Yeah, he is. He's that's a really good. That is a really good video to watch, Pern. No, never been to a con myself. Okay, so see now, since if and when you do go to a con, would you take how many batteries would you take with you, and what kind of batteries would you take? The 21 700s? Would you take a 26 650 if possible for your build? Would you take maybe three or four 18 650s? Um, John Collector's Outpost, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's come out with some great videos, man. And Pern, you can always find videos for any question that you have. And there's just so many videos out there about starting and beginning, and um, even the the saber shop, the custom saber shop has some videos so that you can look at those. And Rob Petcow, he does so many tutorial videos on starting out, on how to make your blade, how to do certain things, how to make a saber. So any information that you have, I recommend starting there and watching Rob Mad Cow Petcow to learn some stuff. And then when you're ready about saber fonts and everything, you can watch Benji at Nerf Herders. He's got a really good video for learning on how to put fonts and stuff like that, and also what it takes to uh, have all the pieces and parts and pricing and everything on his channel and everything. So yeah, Benji at Nerf Herders pretty good, man. Um, Probably 18650s. Is that what soulmate builds use ATM, and I take all the batteries left out loud. So 18650s all the way, huh? Felicia! Do they have a saber stand that charges your saber like an iPhone? I think they just, well, I think they just started putting something like that together. I think the custom saber shop has where you can do what is it, do the in saber charging or something like that. There's a connections that they sell and stuff, but I believe that's what they do. um um Gosh, why do I keep saying so many times? Somebody slapped the hell out of me, right? I know what it is. I ain't drank enough. Okay, so since he says he'd be taking, yes, TCS has that. Okay, so that's what I thought. Felicia, have you been playing with that saber? I hope you've been making some kids happy with that saber, girl. Remember, you have a duty. You have a duty. My little Padawan learner. A Padawan learner to a Padawan learner. Go figure. Man, and so Pern, what other questions do you have, Pern? Do you have any questions right now, dude? You have any questions right now? Because let's see, I've been keeping them in line with it. Get him, Felicia. Get him. Oh man. So I have a 26 650 battery, and I have where the hell did I put it? Like I said, I'm always losing crap, but actually I had it around here because I was using it for a fan. I was doing, and yeah, I know I put it. I know what I did. I put it away because um I was using it to try something out. So since not yet, just buying what I like to start. Okay, Pern. Um since you're starting out, man, and one of the things that I can tell you is when you're learning to soldier and everything like that, if you're learning to soldier, buy some uh cheap boards and stuff to learn on. And just got my first Pixel Saber, totally new Pixel blades, interchangeable with different Saber companies. That's very pretty much, man. Dublin, yeah, it. Most of your Saber blades are gonna be totally the same. Now, it might be different for one or two companies, depending, but most of your blades, most of your blades are going to be um, with a. They can interchange to almost any different saber that you want, right? So they all have that PCB. And where is it? My other blade? Okay, so if you're looking at the Neo Pixel blade, right, you're gonna see you have this PCB right here within the blade. And then inside the blade, you have your PCBs, your LED, excuse me. So your LED strips that are all the way through. And inside, you also have, a couple of layers of diffusion on top of that, as well. Okay. So with the electrodes that are in the end hilt, and they connect to the PCB right here, it all lights everything up. So pretty much most of everything is standard as this blade goes, right? If it has the standard universal connector, then yes, and most companies are using the standard uninstall system. Yeah, that's right. Jim's right, Um, so most of the time you're gonna see blades like this. And with blades like this, it doesn't matter if what company it is. If it has this, then you're pretty much good to go. Now, when they got the pixel, the pins on the inside of the hilt, right? So it's not you can save yourself some money sometimes of making your own blade, but then again, you have options to buy these type of blades. I typed universal, Jim. Damn keyboard. You're like me, Jim, that you're getting old to typing things and your fingers go a little wonky along with the thing, right? Oh, and then you're welcome, dude. I mean, that's what we're here for, man. That's what we're here for. Anytime, dude. Anytime, man. Um, so again, and what I'm saying is about the blades, depending on what you're doing, what you're running, right? So all the different fonts that you're running, all the different blade styles that you're running can determine your life of your battery in whatever settings you decide, right? No, the keyboard on my phone doesn't like YouTube chat interface. Sounds like my phone, Jim. Let me guess. Do you have a Samsung? Sounds like mine. Lately, I've had to be very heavy fingered to to do it, especially when I'm typing fast. So, for instance, if okay, so if you have a solid color, blade color, right? You don't do any real blade styles, and you leave it solid. You can change your colors, and you can pretty much have a good, hour and a half, depending on the type of battery that you have. Now, most of the time, I'm actually digging the 21700s for the simply how long it takes. But because I use so many different blade styles on mine, I run my battery pretty fast, man. Jim says no one plus with Cosmo OS, but it's only issue with the keyboard and YouTube channel. um, Again, if you're using the blade style, but I run totally dark and stealth. Jim. Like, I mean, you can light up a whole room with these damn things, provided you have a really good battery, right? And let me see. Here's the battery. And there's the. Let me see. So I don't even know. I'm gonna light up my saber here for a minute, and I don't even know what font I have on it. So just give me a second here. Oh shit! Like I said, I don't even know what font. I'm gonna find a good font here, and I think I might end up. You know what? I feel kind of like a hilarious font, so I think I'm gonna find the Spaceballs font. John, hey buddy. Oh man, thanks for stopping by, man. So we were just talking about you a little bit earlier. So, um, and we're talking about batteries and battery life tonight, man. Oh, I sure appreciate it, man. John from the Collector's Outpost is here, dude. And I really appreciate. He's got some really great videos too, because he also does all kinds of great videos and demo videos, and I love all the demos that he does on different sabers too. So, for those of you newbies coming and checking out the channel here, make sure you like and subscribe and check out John at Collector's Outpost because man, he does some really great videos. Uh, so Titan says, can NeoPixel Blade work in one saber but not work in another saber because of the wiring in the blade? It's very possible, Titan. You know, I think because of the wiring that goes on, most of the wiring is pretty universal, right? But yeah, like Jim says, most blades are made using the universal style. But I guess it would depend if somebody did like a shoddy job on the wiring and maybe the wire came loose and that's the reasoning behind it. Or maybe a PCB or pins could not be working as well. So, but most of the time they should work in most savers, right? So let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna find the Spaceball font.
Sound menu.
Eternal Print. Cryocarbon.
Guardian! Data issues.
Balance. Mantle of the Force.
Be wary. I sense a disturbance in the force.
Appears to be a standard sequence violation.
You went over my helmet?
There we go. Over my helmet by force. So you can see that I have a pretty good blade style going with it, right? I love the blasters in this thing.
Crosser knows that happened! David, what's going on? Do something! I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
So if you're running, like I said, if you're running a blade style and you're not constantly changing your blade, your colors, your blade styles, and so forth, you could have a pretty good battery life, right? Now, hold on for just a second here. Let me see here.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
I love that thing.
So don't stop. Now you see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb.
So let's see how much battery life I actually have in here.
Checking power level. 100% left.
100% left. Okay. So, all right. Now I'm going to take the battery out because I don't want to run my battery out too much right now. But yeah, I've actually left my battery in here overnight and without turning it back on. And it's run down the battery just slightly because of the buttons here lighting up and stuff. So I mean, it drained it a little bit, but not significantly. So if I don't turn it on again, it'll have a pretty good battery life, right? And like I said, again, this is the 21700. So these are super good long lasting batteries. So you want to go to a con and you're going to go to a con for several hours. I would suggest using a 21700 for your time over there. At least take two, right? Because then you could pretty much go through the whole con and have enough battery life for the whole thing. So, and turning it off and on and so forth. As long as you don't have anything crazy on your blade styles, you should be good to go. Spaceballs! Oh yeah, Charlie. And that's the font by Force, man. I love this son of a bitch. It's good. It's a good font, dude. It cracks me up too. It cracks me up too. The movie cracks me up even more. Now, 18650 batteries. They're smaller batteries, smaller runtime, but they're very good. I mean, you could probably run a pack. You could probably get like hmm, I don't know if I have it with me right here. Let's see. No. Okay, it's over there, and I'm not gonna get up and get it. But you could probably get like one of these for that these wallet cases like this. You can grab one of these and probably line it, and you could probably carry maybe what, two, three, uh, maybe even five, 18650 batteries in here, and just have it like in your backpack, or maybe put it to where you can put it on a belt, so you have all your batteries up in one place, right? Maybe maybe do a little thing where you can cut and put a magnetic door right here. You just pull it off, pull the battery out, put it back in, and there you go, right? So there's all kinds of ideas with things, man. There's all kinds of ideas for things. Let's see. Jim says a standard blade with 22 700 30 amp. You should get about 2 hours plus if turning on and off, and probably 115 minutes straight, depending on color and constant on. Yeah, 21 700. I mean, yeah, 22 700 would be even better, Jim. Unfortunately, they're not making those yet, but I wonder if they're going to. Right? It may one day we may see a 22 700. That would be amazing. They made a 21 700. Why not a 22 700? Right? Higher capacity. Yeah, but the 21 700, yeah, it's so good. And it is just slightly. Oh yeah, the 26 is 650 is ridiculous. Of course it is, but I mean the runtime is straight awesome, man. I ruined my other two 2650, so I'm gonna have to buy some new ones. But the 21 700s, they're just slightly bigger than the 18 650s. And even though they have more runtime, though, they're fairly still compact, man. They're not that big compared to the 26 650. And let me see. And I'm keep. Mm-mm-mm. Now I keep wondering if I want to find my 26 650, and let me see. Where did I even put that sucker? Because I know I put it where it was not going to get messed up, because I opened up more of the wiring on it. Yeah, I opened up more of the wiring on it so that uh, I could get that fan going. Oh, Pern, I meant to. You know what? Dude, and I got I went and I almost forgot that your what I was telling you about when you start learning to soldier, dude. I am so sorry. So I'm gonna go back to you and just give you a little advice that if you start getting buy some cheap boards, right? Buy some really cheap boards to work with, and learn how to soldier on some cheap boards. And after, oops, my bad. Um, After getting those boards, let's see here. Sorry, guys, my bad. um, Here we go. Let me grab one so that you can see here. And I got a whole mess of boards here that I'm cutting for my own personal. And if somebody decides that they want to buy, custom clamp cards. So you get you a couple of these, right? And you can learn to solder on these and learn to solder your wires, learn to solder your boards so that that way when you start doing your own NeoPixel builds and everything that you take your time and you learn how to solder well. Okay. Now on top of that, you can go by the for the fume exhausters. You can buy those, or you can just do something like I did, man. I made my own fume exhauster right here. I've got a little fan. I need to get a bigger fan for this because this fan is just ridiculously small, and it really sucks very little of the fumes out. So I need to get a fan that fits this whole thing and get a bigger battery, a 9-volt battery to go with it. Uh, but I find that the 26650 battery should do really well with these computer fans. Get the computer fans stuck on here like this, and I also have some more charcoal activated stuff in here, filter, right? Um, I got a charcoal activated filter up in here. So when you put the battery on, and that fan will suck up all of those bad fumes up here and release good air back into there, that you're breathing, so that you don't breathe in those bad fumes. So just a little, you don't want to breathe those fumes and everything. So is KRV 2 blade the best brightness for the cost? Oh, I mean, it depends, man. Like my buddy Anthony, and I'm not saying just because he's my friend, but he's really put a lot. If you look at blades and bright blades, right? He puts a lot of LEDs into a single blade. So if you go to Civilized Sabers, yeah, they're a little pricey, but he does really really well with those blades. I mean, they are bright. They will light up an entire room. You turn off the light, you can light up the entire room with their blades. So I kid you not. I kid you not. I mean, he put 500 LEDs in a single blade, man. But everybody has their own preference. So I'm not telling you just to go um yeah, fume extractor. There you go, Jim. um, you know, it's a personal preference as well. Okay, so and again, I want to say, and I want to reinforce what your budget calls for, not what anybody else's budget calls for. Is what you want, what you can afford, and if you decide, to make your own, yeah, you want your eye searing? Then go with my buddy Anthony. Go with Anthony. Go to Civilized Savers and purchase their blades, man. But then again, like I said, it's a personal preference. So you can choose to do that, or you can choose not to do that. I'm not telling you exactly what to do because, like I said, even though Anthony's my friend, I want to make sure that like we stay objective, and you make that choice. Okay, so go watch some videos and see what you think is best, and you make that decision. Okay, you make that decision. But like I said, you want your eye searing? Do your research. Do your research. That's what I'm gonna tell you, because like I said, I love my friend Anthony, but I'm being objective here, and I can't tell you who to go to, what not to go to. Just do your research, see what you like, see what you want, and go from there. Okay. Uh, but yeah, I think civilized sabers might be a way to go if you want your ice here. And KR has some good blades too. KR has great blades. I mean, there's a lot of people who have great blades. No one company that I'm not gonna put down any one company at all whatsoever, because everybody does such an amazing job, and it takes it takes some skill to make the blades, man. I mean, not so much where you can't do it yourself, but it does take time. Okay, it does take time to make the blades. Um, so like I said, do your research, take your time, and make sure you get what you want, what your money's worth, and everything else like that. Personal preference. You want something that you're going to be happy with. That if you're not going to be happy with something, don't. If you have reservations, just think twice about it. That's all I'm going to tell you. Um, because I tell you, I've made a blade. Let's see. This is one of Ant's blades that I have right here. One of Anthony's Civilized Saber blades, right? That he sent me. He gifted to me. Um, and I also have this is the blade on here. Um, the blade that I have on this saber right here, the Warlock, I made, right? I made this one myself. Space Window. Yep. Manufacturing by Anthony. So yes, absolutely, right? So and this blade that I used for this saber right here, I made myself. Um, and it's not that hard to make. But I am not like Anthony. I will not fit 500 LEDs in this damn thing. I can barely do two myself. So I'll tell you what. Yeah. Um, it has some issues. So I definitely need to rebuy some LED strips so that I can redo my blade in here. Probably some better ones, or replace the PCB, because at times that the blade doesn't light up all the way, or maybe half of the blade. So yeah, white blade with a 7/8 is bright as oh yeah, Titan for sure, for sure. So if when you're also getting blades and stuff, depending on some of the wires, if the wires are done right and everything, it's going to work for a good long while, right? Now, some drawbacks on some blades, and depending, it could also be faulty PCBs, like I showed you, right? So hold on for just a minute. Let me put the Warlock down here so I can show you. Um, Again, going back to the PCBs, right? Now, these can actually falter as well. So these can go bad, or the wiring can come loose. If you hit it too hard, bang it. Maybe let's say it falls down or something. Maybe some of the wiring can come loose from here, from back inside the blade, right? So there's a matter of all kinds of different there's all kinds of different scenarios that can happen that may prevent a blade from working properly, and it's just a matter of trying to figure out what's going on. Then again, it could be the pins inside your hilt. So you have to look at the factors of what's going on. So like again, like I said, maybe your blade's kind of going wonky. Maybe there's an LED that is just firing or not firing. There's half a strip that's working and the other half is not working. So there's all kinds of things that can go wrong with blades as well, right? Especially if there is a faulty LED within the strip. Now, sometimes you can remedy that by going in there. If you made the blade yourself, go in here, take out the bad, find out which of the LED is bad, cut it out, resolder it, and put it back in there. But there's, like I said, that takes a lot of time too, and depending on your amount of patience, whether you can do it or not, as well. Uh, that's entirely up to you if you want to deal with that, or you can, say you let's say you get a blade and 2 months later the blade stops working right. Well, for whatever company you go with, email them and say, hey, my blade's not working right. Can you help me figure out what's going on with it? And if they say, well, why don't you go ahead and send us the blade and we can see if it's the blade or this and that. And most of the times they'll work with you and try to get to see what the problem is before you have to send it to them. And if no solution can come up from that, then they'll say, okay, send us the blade and we'll fix it up for you, right? Then another thing too to consider, anything over 2 strips is more of a show blade and not a combat blade. Yeah, Jim is right. So absolutely right. If you're going to duel, that's another thing. Okay, dueling and your battery. I think if you're going to duel, 2 strips is a way to go with your blade, right? TriStar, Omega, Quadstar, and Pentastar are not warranted or guaranteed for combat. No, not at all. So, Pern and Double N, if y'all are going to go that route and you're gonna do a lot of combat stuff, then just do with the 2 blade, the 2 strips, because anything more than that, you're gonna really ruin it. I mean, you really even though you hit them and you may not hit them all that hard, but all of that kind of you know functionality that you're really wanting, you got to decide whether you want to do combat, whether you don't want to do combat, or you want it just for show. So that's another thing to take in consideration, right? Now you won't get you won't pull as much amperage out of the battery using a dual star than you would in anything else. But yeah, the other ones, they'll burn your eye sockets out, but but they're a lot of fun and not for combat. They're showpieces. So decide whether you want showpieces, decide whether you want combat stuff. That also determines your battery life as well, right? Um, Especially if you bust a blade, then then you broke your blade early, you don't have any more blades. Well, okay, take your battery out and save your battery life, right? Till you get a new blade. But if you buy, a couple of blades here and there throughout the year, and you can interchange them, or if one goes bad, you have 3 others, right? I have at least 3 blades. I have at least 3 blades, so I can change them out anytime I want to. As a matter of fact, my red one from Space Window is not working properly. And I'm gonna send it back to him so he can help me figure out what's going on with it. I have a feeling that it's probably a faulty PCB. So he told me he'd fix it for me. So I'm gonna send it to him with a little couple of other goodies. So he don't know it yet, but I got some stuff to send him when I get a chance to. The Dual Star Omega is the brightest of the 2 strip blades on the market. Oh yeah, it really is. And because Space Window he uses, Adafruit stuff. He uses the top of the line stuff, man. And Adafruit really has some high quality LED strips. Really, they do. And they have such quality stuff as well. Very impressed with a lot of their products because their products are so high top quality stuff, man. That they produce, and they're willing to help and take care of you too. I mean, you have questions, they've got answers, man. I haven't really asked them a whole lot of stuff, but when I did, I got an email back, and I tell you, they're willing to help you whenever. And they've also got a few good tutorial videos out as well. So If anybody's interested in seeing some of their tutorial on different things, look them up on. I think they do some good stuff on soldering videos. They do some good stuff on electronics and all kinds of things, man. So they're a good channel to take into consideration for learning stuff as well. A lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. And there's different companies and different batteries too. So, you don't have, you know, Trustfire used to be the really go-to battery. From when I first started out, Trustfire was like the craziest go-to battery out there. And as time went by, then Keep Power was the next one in line. And so far, Keep Power is basically your go-to now, and almost everybody sells Keep Power. Um, and it's kind of funny that you don't see too many other company batteries out there, right? Now, I've seen and I've heard some people they'll go and they'll buy an 18650 battery from uh, those vape shops and stuff like that. But a lot of times the vape shops don't have that what is it? The PCB that keeps them from overcharging and you know overextending the power. So some people will go that route, but they won't have that PCB that protection PCB in there. And a lot of times you need that protection PCB when you're dealing with these sabers. Oh, hey, um, Jim and everybody, I've been working on that memory saver for a long time, right? Well, I had came really close to completing it, and I did not like my wiring. Yeah, don't get a vape shop 18650 or 21700 because they're high amp with no protection. See, Jim even knows it too. So for those of you newbies, man, make sure you stay away from those type of batteries, even though they're close by and maybe cheaper than what you find. Yeah, they're not safe, man. You might end up blowing up your saber, so don't go there. Don't go there. No, please, please, please. If there's any advice that Jim or myself and other saber enthusiasts can help you with, please listen to that one because there's been some instances where a saber has blown up, a saber has caught on fire, to several things, right? So um, there are so many things that. Oops, hold on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. There's so many things that can go wrong with no protection PCBs in these batteries, and it's just not safe. And you don't want to get hurt, and you don't want anybody else to get hurt as well. So adhere to some of that advice, right? Um, so anyhow, going back to battery life and everything else, that you know, just bought a bunch of Keep Power 18650 amps protected and won't fit any of my sabers. What? Wait, bought a bunch of Keep Power and they won't fit any of your sabers. Hmm. Um, Pern, are you okay? What did you get the right chassis for your saber? Um, what too long? And you bought 18650s and they're too long? Button top? Because normally when you buy a saber, most of them fit the 18650s button tops. And if they're too long, depending on what your setup might be, um, may I ask where you got your saber from? This has been super informative. Thanks for all the info. And I got to get to bed. I start work at 6 a.m. Not found out. Hey, Double M, thanks for stopping by, man. I really appreciate it. And you're more than welcome. And I tell you, if you guys have any questions, if you want to hit me up, you can always email me at e_cabrerai at yahoo.com. Okay. And I'm going to try to be on as many Mondays as I can. Sometimes there's things that I got to do with my kids. And so I will put the word out that I'm not going to be on due to things like next Monday. I will not be on because my kids have a kickball game, and they had one tonight, but today I stayed back so that I could do to the show tonight. So next Monday I will not be doing the show because the girls have another kickball game, and I'll be going to that one. So now if things change, then I'll be on. Okay. Um, so yeah, anytime, Pern, you got a question, hit me up. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. Hit me up. You got questions? I'd be happy to help you in any way I can, dude. Um, I have an 89 cal coming in, Ultimate Works Blade. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. Um, so like I said, in most times I can try to help you as much as I can. Um, and if I can't find the answer, I certainly will find somebody who will have the answer for you. Okay. Solo Jeremy at Solo Sabers, Benji at Nerf Herders, all of these guys, I tell you what, I haven't tried to fit in those. Okay. So I tell you, if I can't give you the answer, and I tell you any of these guys, they'll, and even Jim, they 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 will give you a good answer as well. If I can't find one, they will. These guys are pros, man. They know exactly. They know three times more than I do. And if I have a question, I ask them. So I tell you. So and then have a good night, dude. Thank you for stopping by. And anytime, dude. 89. That's a good one, man. And Ultimate Works. That is a cool saber, dude. That's a cool saber. That I haven't tried to fit in those, and hopefully it usually fits those stuff I load. Jim, let's see. The only way it's too long is if it has a USB built in. Usually, yeah, I agree, Jim. If it has a USB built in, those and I try not to. I thought about buying some of those batteries. That's a good point that you brought up, Jim. Those kind of batteries that have the input to charge the batteries that way, USB. Uh, I find those a little fascinating, but at the same time, kind of like prone for problems. Even though I haven't heard of too many problems, Jeremy has shown that 18650s can be different sizes. So does a spring for the negative side solve the problem? Solve that problem? Yeah, I was wondering that too. You know, those kind of batteries, yeah, see, because it makes me wonder that they're prone for leakage through that charging port of the battery, right? So even though I like the idea of those batteries having it that way, because then you can eliminate the recharge port, you can eliminate certain things with those batteries. But if something goes wrong, let's say you drop the saber and you break something within that battery or whatever, and there's prone to leakage, then not only will the battery be ruined, but then you're going to ruin your saber as well. Um, Now, Pering, also, I was thinking that if you have a very big spring for the battery, you could potentially cut it down a little bit so that it could help with fitting the battery in there, right? Sometimes I don't think I have my other spring deals up on here. I've got them put away, but I think. Let me see. And I don't think I have. Let me see. I'm gonna look in my drawer here real quick and see if I can. If I do have one lying around, I probably put it away somewhere. But knowing me, I probably do put it away somewhere where I can't find it. And normally that's the bad thing about me. I'm so disorganized, man, that I tend to put things away when I need them, and then I can't find them, and then yet when I don't need them, I find the damn things, and it's so irritating. It's so damn irritating. Oh, let me see. Oh, here we go. Here's a prime example, and this is not a saber. This is not a saber one, but if you find a saber one that has a spring sort of this long, right? And you're having a hard time putting in your battery because your battery doesn't fit. So what you might want to do is get some clippers, right? Get some clippers and cut down that spring, maybe one or two coils, and then put your battery in, see if it fits, right? Um, that is a really good solution to do. If you're in a rush, I wouldn't recommend rushing on anything because, like Rob Petkel would say, if you rush it, you wreck it. So, make sure you take your time with your stuff. Um, I like a flat top 18650 with no protection is shorter than an 1860 button top with protection. Uh, oh yeah, really, Jim, I really didn't even know that either, dude. I really did not know about that. That the flat top with no protection is shorter than the PCB with the button top. I did not know that. See, even I'm learning, guys. Even I'm learning something on here. I don't know as much as Jim, but I tell you, I learn something new every day. It's a bit longer than all of them. Yeah, I think that it is longer, Jim, because of the USB, the USB part of it. It has to be so you can plug it in. But I mean, see, that's another thing. Those kind of batteries, it bothers me a little bit. And for those of you who are using them, I'm not dogging you about using them. Um, I really commend everybody for their choices because, each and every saber and each and everything, part and facet of the sabers is a personal choice. So don't take anything. I'm not trying to dog anybody or anything at all. Um, it's personal preference because if you look at something in a different way, right? Always kind of think to yourself what potentially could happen this way, what potentially could happen that way. Um, use common sense, use information that is useful, use information that is factual, not just hearsay, and have an informed opinion when you buy stuff. Okay? Make sure you have an informed opinion about when you're buying things because that way you know what you're getting, you know what's going to happen when you do certain things. You're aware of possible outcomes. Cole, use my opinions. I'm always right. Cole is always right. God dang it, Nicole. Why you gotta be always right, man? Why you gotta be always right, dude? No, love you, Dave, man. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. I really do, dude. Um, I do agree with you, Mundo. One should get the 18650 or 21700 without built-in USB charging, just simply because at least a peace of mind in usage. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It just it is a peace of mind because you have the the USB part of it, like I said, could be prone for leakage. And if you're paying, $600 or $700 for for a custom saber, and something happens to that battery and that battery leaks, then you've got a $700 of nothing left, right? You're gonna have to have it sent out for a full total rebuild. Titan says, can a Bluetooth module drain a saber faster than normal, even if in sleep mode? I Titan, yeah, because it's still gonna use, electricity. It's gonna still use energy no matter what. Just like lighted up buttons, right? I think even if it's such a small degree of usage, over time it'll drain that battery, but it won't drain it just as fast. Because if in sleep mode, there's just such minimal drainage of the battery. But if you leave it on, like if you leave it all night long like that without taking the battery out, I think it might be, I think it might, but then again, with it, if you have a kill switch, if you have a kill switch, it may not. But yeah, damn, that's a damn good question, dude. I would say if you have a kill switch, not, but if in sleep mode, I think it might. I think it might. But that's yeah, that's a damn good question, dude. Microamps. Yeah, I think so, right, Jim? I think Jim's right. The microamps. It won't be as fast, but yeah, it'll be there. It'll be there. Speaking of, has anybody been watching Cole stuff? Oh, he's killing it on the damn the laser, man. Whew, the laser etching is just beautiful, dude. Cole, I really like what you're doing on the and especially the knife, man. That knife turned out gorgeous, dude. That knife really turned out gorgeous. I'm a knife collector, dude, so I'm all like, oh, that was awesome. That was awesome, dude. And he made it for Jeremy Puckett. Jeremy Puckett. Solos. Solo sabers. I need a laser etcher. I think everybody does, Jim. I think everybody does. Remember, Cole is always right. Yeah, Jim, you need a laser etcher, so that's coming from Cole. He's always right. And um I what so what do you guys normally would do? What is your ideal time of battery time? Is it an hour, 2 hours, more than that? Maybe about 30 minutes? What what do you guys want to cook? Let's see in the future. How much time would you want to see come out of the battery time in terms of playtime in the Sabres? I would I would say if you're going to a 4 hour con, I would love to see the whole 4 hours go. The battery go for the whole 4 hours, right? And I'd be good with that because then any more after that, then you wouldn't have to worry about things. My town has a Saber meetup for May 4th. Anyone else doing something May 4th? Oh, Titan, I'm gonna be on with Anthony. I'm gonna try to. Depends on the family thing, but yeah, and if I can't, I mean, I'm gonna definitely show up for a little bit. So if I'm at a kickball tournament with my kids, I tell you what, I'm gonna have my earbuds on, and I'm going to be on live with them. Perg, you're in San Antonio? Seriously, I'm in Corpus, dude. I'm in Corpus. So I'm 2 hours away from you. That's cool. And even Felicia. Felicia's in San Antonio. I've got cousins and I've got family in San Antonio. So that's cool, man. That's cool. Oh, you're in Kennedy currently. Okay. Oh, you still ain't that far. I mean, it's a little bit, but that's not out of the way, right? It's along Canada. Titan's in Canada. Hey, Rob Petcow's in Canada. So you ain't that far away from him, Titan. You ain't that far away from him. He's there in Canada somewhere. I don't know what part. I don't remember what part of Canada, but he is. He's there. I know Canada's a little bit of a big place, but come on, you're in the same neck of the woods there. But I personally, I think if I'm going to an event like Star Wars celebration, I probably would take three, maybe four 21 700s with me. Simply because celebration lasts so long, right? And oh my God, that fiesta, I mean, it just woo. So is Electrum. Oh, Electrum's there too, right? Yeah, Electrum is there too. That's right. That's where I got my Evo Flex. I love the shit out of my Evo Flex. I do, but their board is kind of kind of let me down. So we'll see what happens with that one. I actually got the guts to take out. I took out the guts from my Evo, and um, I was, for a long time, I was just dreading to not mess with it and do something with it because I was like, no, 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 and I do not know what the hell I did with it. It works because simply what happened was the battery. It was a bad battery within it, but then I think some of the pins stopped working as well. So there's definitely some issues with it. Not to say that Dave is trying so hard to kind of you need your remnant reinstalled. Yeah. Dave is trying really hard to make amends to fix the Sabres. He really is. I mean, he made a whole new board and working out the kinks of that one and getting people, resituated with the new board and so forth like that. I just don't have I just don't have the money to keep sending it over there and then waiting for so long for it to have back. I send it one time. I send it once. It came back, worked for a few days, and then quit. Send it back again. Wait another 3 or 4 months. Came back, worked for another couple of days, and then quit again on me. And simply because it was a bad battery or whatever, have you will. So I just kind of got, a little agitated with it and let it sit on the shelf for a good long time. Yeah, I did. I took the diadium out. Oh, and you put a Profi in it? Sweet. I have a Profi 1.5 that Aunt gifted to me, and I have not messed with it yet. I think eventually I will do that when I get the memory saver reinstalled. So Roy Boy 2.0 uh, will be living again, hopefully really soon. And I tell you, going back to Roy Boy 2.0, because, when I started, I could not, for the life of me, my wiring job, I was not happy with it, right? I was really not happy with the way the jumbled wires came out. So I took everything off, and I'm still kind of deciding where the stupid uh, out wire goes for this LED right here, because the green is the in, and the so the green is going to go into the pins, and the blue I think is because it's out will go onto the board. So, and then the others, will head into what they go to. So I just really wasn't happy um with the way my wirings were. Mike has the original diadium. It never worked well. Yeah. Oh, yours, Titan. Sorry. Um, yeah, mine has the original diadium as well, and yeah, it never worked well whatsoever. And even though I sent it to Dave, Dave attempted to make good on it, and it still didn't work right. So I think those boards were, really not, the concept and the board design was great, but unfortunately, it didn't work the way they had hoped it would work. Now, how his came out worked really well. I think because he got the prototype and his was done fairly well. And then when production came out for their boards, the production wasn't so well as they hoped it would be. So, but again, like I said, I'm not going to dog Dave at all because Dave has been working so hard to try and make an amends with everything. And I even told him about my board on the other website, for uh the Electrum Sabers holders and stuff. And I even told him about my board and everything, and he's like, "Yeah, Tim or Jeremy, yeah, oh, dude, you can't go wrong with them for reinstalling it, man. They'll do you justice, dude. They're just genius installers, dude. The hilt is awesome. I totally agree with you 100%. It feels good. It looks good. I mean, it is an awesome hilt. Even Tim from Tearfun Orbital, man, praises it. That's his go-to saber. He is really 100% loves that hilt. Um, and so, he does really well. One of the things that I was working on also for the chassis that Rich had made for me for Roy Boy. If you can see, last night I reinstalled the LED right here in the chassis where the kill switch would have gone. And I was thinking to myself that where the kill switch is, instead of having two ways to kill the board, I just need one. So I just need to reload, do the recharge port, put the kill key in, and be done with it. I just need one, just one, just one kill switch, one kill key. That's all. So, but yeah, I think once I get to wiring, and then of course I'm gonna put a little diffusion on that too. So I got this little sucker right here. I'm gonna cut a little. You can see I cut a little piece of it already. So I'm going to cut this right here, and I'm going to cover that up just slightly. I'm not gonna cover it up too much, but just cover it so it kind of works well with the black here. It'll be dark, so it works well with the black here. I mean, it won't be diffused too much, but I've also got shrink tubing on this LED right here. So, um, I mean, yeah, shrink tubing. My brain's going bye-bye right now, thinking of my kids. But like I said, I wasn't real happy with my wiring, so I went ahead and regutted the saber, and decided that I'm going to do some of the wiring on the board itself. So I started I started wiring the board up a little bit. Now I know it looks like all spaghetti crap and everything like that. But yeah, right now I just decided to put some wiring like this. So simply what I could do is um, finishing up some of the wiring on here because it's going to go this way, and bring everything back around this way, right? It should look like a pretty clean when I get done with it. Is that going to have the bullet crystal holder? No, actually this one doesn't. It's not going to. The one you're looking at, Felicia, is you're thinking of the Vader one. This is the Vader one right here, right? So right now I'm thinking of putting a strip of LEDs that are gonna kind of arc around like in here underneath. And I started cutting. I found it. I got a busted up radio, right? I got a busted up radio, and I found the the little black metal stuff that covers the what do you call it? The speaker, right? So right here, if you can see that little metal mesh stuff right here, I think I can kind of cut this down and make it fit. And of course, the blue tape is going to come off. So with some diffusion on the inside of that later, and then take the blue tape off, that'll have the black right here with a little bit of diffusion foam on the inside, and get it in there centered, like really cool. I think that would be really good with the LEDs in here that'll make it kind of light up in here, and then make its way up, make its way light up here too. So it's a work in progress, little bit by little bit. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm really trying hard to make sure that I can get everything working well. But I still have a lot of sanding to do on here to grind it down and to make sure that it's going to fit in here pretty nicely. And then once I make sure that it fits in here fairly nicely, I actually finally got the positive terminal in here. So that positive terminal is done. So my battery tabs are completely done. Um, Now I just need to put my LEDs in here, and then get this piece fit in there, and hopefully when that is done, then I'm going to try to fit the PCB pins up on here somewhere so that it already touches. As a matter of fact, I have my mm-mm-mm. Okay. I've got the Vader in the box already right now, but I'm not gonna pull it out. But I had already put the PCB um for the blade, right? I put the pins in the back PCB part of it. So now in the blade holder. So the blade holder's completely done. This is almost done. I just need the LEDs to go in here and then get this piece on there. Once I get that, then put some wires to do the bullseye part or the pins right here. And yeah, so it's still a work in progress, slowly but surely. But I want to finish Roy Boy 2.0 before I finish do the Vader, because Vader is on the back burner for right now. But I'm almost done with it, so I can't complain. Oh yeah, and I also ordered some more speakers from Amazon too. Of course, because Vader's not gonna be. Some of these other builds are not gonna be like, yeah, like super 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 badass builds. So um, they are, these Amazon ones got some pretty good reviews. So I'm gonna try those out and see how they sound. And so that's kind of like my little way of doing things so far. But yeah, I can't wait to get this one started, to get Roy Boy back alive, get my friend's voice back on there, and go to town with it. And because I need to get it finished up to show his brother and his son. So they're looking forward to seeing that. Just not enough time for everything, man. Whew. Priorities take over. And that's the thing in this hobby too, man. You got to set priorities. You got to set priorities. Um, Felicia, let's see. Is that going to have? Thank you, Felicia. Yeah, it looks good. Thank you. Yeah, I can't wait for this to get finished up. But my my concern was that when I was wiring all these, all the 22 gauge wires that I had sticking up and fat, and it just like it bugged the crap out of me because it was just prone to get shorts, right? Um, and that's another thing when you're doing your wiring jobs, man. If you don't like it, redo it, redo it. I've had to kind of rewire two recharge ports just because of the way. Uh, like for instance, on this one here, I cut the wires a little short, so the last time, so I had to rewire it and put longer wires, right? And this time now though, they're still short, but at the same time, like this yellow one, I know it's going to the board. Well, what I end up doing is I put a long gray wire, so I know that the gray wire is going to go to the board. So these two will kind of go together later on when I find the right length for them. So that's going to be and um I got my switches on here already. Even though I have wires on my switches, it I had to redo my switches as well because the way that I had my switches in here, right? Um, where is my, here it is. So let me show you here so you can see what I'm kind of talking about. That um, I have a little five strip LEDs, right? A little strip of five LEDs right here. And in here, right, in this short box, in here goes the LEDs. And let me see, hold on, I'm gonna have to put these like this. So everybody can kind of see this, the components of Roy Boy 2.0 anyways. They kind of know what I'm talking about when I'm saying certain things, right? So, let me see here. Come on, fit in there. And it's being a pain in the butt. God dang it. And there goes the little little pain in the ass. Come on. No, get in there, get in there. Come on. Don't be a pain. Don't be a pill. All right. Well, I'm not going to put it down too far. I'll get it down in there later. But just so you can see that the strip of LEDs will go down in here and it will sit in there pretty good, right? And then my wires will run down through here and sit, and then my buttons will sit just like that. Of course, again, like I said, I had to rewire the buttons. And what I did was instead of using four wires right here, I ran a single black wire right here. Let me see, hold on. Okay. So I ran a single black wire for the negative right here. And I've already got these wires right here set up. But what what I did for the negative part of the wires already on here, since I shortened the negative wire here instead of running it that way, and I'm only running these two on the board. And again, what did I do? So on the board, I've got the same wires as here, right? So when I run these all the way up back to the switch, and I can shorten these when I run these up so that I know exactly what they're going to do. These are gonna be set out of the way of the LEDs. Uh, Harris would improve. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. Um, that dude, that means a lot, man. That coming from you, that really means a lot. Trust me, it really does. So when I run the wires back up and I shorten these, I still have the negative wire right here, and then I can touch onto the back side of this. And and all I need is just one little side of the negative on any one of these, and it'll be fine. And they will be out of the way of the LEDs in here, right? So, like I said, there's just I wasn't happy with my wiring before, and I was just needing to connect everything and then test everything. When you're doing some installs, if it doesn't feel right, if you feel like you have problems, try to do something different. You know, don't rush it. Don't do it what you think is gonna happen. It may happen, right? So take your time with it. If you're not happy, rewire it. Take your time with it. If you're not, if you're doing it for yourself, if you're not having somebody pay for it, go for it, man. Take your time with it. Redo it. You know, I probably redid this thing like 6 times already, just simply because I'm not happy with the wiring. I want it clean. I want it nice. I want it better. I want to better myself. So strive to better yourself in your installs, right? Strive to always improve things. And I have. Well, gentlemen, ladies, everybody, double N, Cindy, Felicia, Cole, thank you guys. Everybody who's come by the channel and will come by the channel, thank you so much, man. I so appreciate you hanging out with me. I am beyond blessed to have you guys here. Charlie, JT, thank you guys again. You know, everybody who comes, thank you so much. Uh, if you guys want to come on, you know, hit me up, let me know, and I'll send you a link to the show so you can come on with me. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, hit me up. If you have a particular show, you know, if you want to have some input and you want to talk about certain something in the show, let me know, man, because you know I'm always willing to take, you know, ideas from anybody who has ideas about sabers that they want to talk about. Um, I love it. You love you guys all. Make sure you like and subscribe. And without Space Windu, Civilized Sabers, you know, Mundo Madness Monday would not be possible. So make sure that you stop by Civilized Sabers, hit up Anthony, and keep an eye on his products and look for the May 4th Fiesta, where he'll be giving away saber blades. So make sure you stop by on May 4th, man. May make an appearance. Um, Again, like and subscribe if you want to. You can also hit me up Instagram, Facebook, and on Instagram at Mundo Cabrera 7007. All right. May the force be with you guys. Peace. Mundo going to be banning. Oh, where's my banners? No, my brand, my banners, my banners. Peace.
In here, we pour whiskey.